Uganda Vegan Society, in partnership with Ghetto Hope Foundation and AFGAD, hosted the Kampala Ghetto Veg Fest that brought together restaurant chefs and street food vendors within the Kampala suburbs, commonly referred to as ghettos. Several food vendors and chefs were equipped with skills to make tasty vegan dishes that include pumpkin soups, tomato soup, and an eggless chapati, commonly known as Rolex. Smart Foods Limited supported the Vegan Fest with vegan products including spices, coconut yogurt, and tofu, alongside training the vendors and chefs on preparations of tasty tofu as an egg and meat substitution. The tofu recipes by Smart Foods Limited was an exciting cuisine for the chefs and vendors.
So what we do, this is the process. We get soya beans. We have to make soya. We get soya beans, okay? And then we soak them in water. Alright? We do what? We soak them in water. After soaking them in water, we put them in a machine, and like a blender. We put them in a blender, we also pour their water. And then we make what we call soya milk. After we have made the soya milk, we cook it. Then when we are finished cooking it, we add some salt to it, and then it breaks into two parts. Gabelanga matako zechi, agato day. Omalanga belanga bongo. But then tabelanga bongo. Gabelanga mataka putu set. Then omala amaze tuganyigane gavamu. Then soya nasigara wonga yomu na wola bafana wana. Tutugira mutaga soya, tugajjama amazi gonna tufuna mu block.
Students from schools around Wakiso and Kampala were also invited and equipped with the knowledge about veganism and its relevance to animals, human health, and the environment.
One needs to reduce on the meat that they eat or to get meat completely out of their diet. We have the solutions. We do coconut and soy milk, yogurt. We're going to see them here. I think everyone will get a chance to test a little bit. If you handle me well, everyone will test a little bit of the yogurt, which is from coconut and soy milk. And today we're also going to show you how you can have soya meat. Okay, and the beauty of the products which we do is that they have the same value just like meat.
Nabasa Innocent, the Executive Director of Ugandan Vegan Society, explains why it's important for Ugandans to go on a plant-based diet.
As Uganda Vegan Society, why are we doing this? We're doing this for the animals, for health and for the environment. We're trying to promote compassion towards animals because every time you eat meat, it means that an animal was slaughtered. Trucks and trucks of cows are coming into the city going to the slaughterhouse. They are tying the cows by the heads, by the hooves, by their tails. It's torture. We are currently doing a campaign called Cage Free. You know, hens are being subjected into cages. A cage is as small as an A4 paper. A hen is there. Naturally, hens are supposed to live, to nest, you know, to create their own nest where they can lay eggs. They're supposed to dust bathe. They're supposed to flap their wings, but they cannot do that in the cage. And because of that, they are living unhealthy lives. So as farmers, to make sure that these hens live healthy lives, they subject them to antibiotics. Now that brings me to health. In future, most of us that are consuming these hens we are just finding in supermarkets, on the streets, we could be antibiotic resistant because they are subjected to antibiotics. Same thing as pigs. Pigs are being subjected to antibiotics so that they could fatten. So that's not good for your health.
Navasa further says they chose to bring the Vegan Fest to the ghettos because it's the hub of the Kampala business community, with most vendors and chefs running small restaurant chains residing in these areas.
What we're trying to do, we're trying to empower these vendors to diversify. You know, if I walked into your restaurant, besides eating beans and if I'm a vegetarian or a vegan, besides eating beans, what more can you offer? So we want these women to be able to offer pumpkin soup, offer tomato soup, carrot soup, vegetable sauce, and so much more. This means we're improving their livelihood, and so there are options for both meat eaters and non-meat eaters.
Navasa urged Ugandans to go vegan, especially for their health, to avoid non-communicable diseases, which is a burden to the health sector.
Doctors have warned us against avoiding non-communicable diseases, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, some cancers, including colon cancer, talking about arthritis. You know, why should you wait for the doctor to tell you stop eating these foods if you can do it now? Because by the time the doctor tells you, meaning you're on lifetime drugs, because hypertension does not heal, you only get drugs for relief. So if you can do it now, that's why you're seeing most of the people we have here are young. We have school-going children. We have women aged around 18 up to around 30. These are women that some are making decisions already in their homes so they can decide on what to eat. Some already engaged into restaurant and street food businesses.
The Ghetto Veg Fest was coupled with a talent show from the youths in the neighborhood. Vendors and chefs that participated in the event also shared their experiences.
Njize okufumba ebintu nga temuli kusiika okusiikasiika oyo obuto ne bwaba mutaddemu naye nga si bintu bya kusiikiriza. Twagala nnyo ebintu by'okusiika naye tufumbye ebintu ate ne biwooma nga si bya kusiika.
These vegetables, they build up your immunity. Like it is better than meat, and it doesn't need a lot of oil as meat. Because meat, it has its own fats, but this is soya beans. Because you can even get milk out of it.
Tuli basanyufu nnyo, tuli basanyufu abakyala nga ffe abafumbo. Tubadde tetumanyi kufumba abamu naye tubiyigidde wano. Tinjize okufumba boilo, njize okusiika akammonde chips naye nga si za butto ate nga si ziri ensaleesale. Njize ebintu bingi era ndi musanyufu.
Mukolo gwa leero kye ndabyeko nze mbadde sikisuubira kubanga batusomesezza engeri gy'oyinza okukolamu ennyama ng'ogijja mu soya, n'ekirala ne yogati akoleddwa mu soya.
Byendabye ebikoleddwa mu soya mbadde swala kirowoozaako tibasobola okukola yogati mu soya nga tebataddeemu mata. Nkirabye olwaleero.
Batusomesezza engeri gy'oyinza okukolamu ennyama ng'ogijja mu soya.
Ennyama ennaku zino engeri gy'eri ya buseere ate nga soya tebamuseera. Tusobola okufumba soya miiti kubanga n'ennyama eyitiridde erwaza.
Otuba tusoma eri mu kirasi zaffe batugamba ennyama ennyingi esobola okukulwaza bulusera. So omuntu kiba kirungi nnyo n'obanga ojoyininze vegetarian nganze. Nze nganze nsobola okuddayo ewaka mba n'ebyetaagisa nga soya n'ebirungo byonna nga nsobola okwekolera ennyama ey'omu soya era nga nsobola obitegeka nganze omulenzi.
We get our frying pan, fire, we put there little cooking oil. When cooking oil is ready, we add our spices like onions, green pepper, carrots and tomatoes. We add some little salt for the tomatoes to get ready early. If you want, you can put it on chapati. Taste.
I have to explain once I made it like it.
I'm not going to explain, I'm going to ask. Why does it taste like meat?
Because it's plant meat.
That knowledge, I'm going to use it to make my fellow students, which are not here, and my parents, relatives, to know that vegetables are good.
Olunaku lwaleero tubasomeseza ebintu ebyenjawulo bye bayize okubeera nga basobola ne baba bagenze mu hotels ez'enjawulo ne baba bagenze mu restaurants ez'enjawulo basobola okufumbira abo abantu abatalya nyama. For example, tubayigiriza okufumba ebijanjaalo nga tukozesa coconut ate nga tobisiise ne birabika bulungi. Bayinza okufumba vegetables ez'enjawulo. Ekirungi ky'okubeera vegan ndowooza mulaba bajjajjaffe babaddewo emyaka mingi olw'ensonga bali tebalya nnyo bintu birimu butto, tebalya nnyo bintu bisiikesiike, tebalya nnyo bintu bya nnyama. Nti agenda mu nnimiro ye direct n'ajjayo ekintu n'akirya nga tebakyongeddeeko mutindo mulala. Kizibu nnyo okusanga vegetarian yenna ng'akaddiye olw'ensonga ebintu bye balya fresh things, ebintu ebiri fresh, bajja mu nnimiro ne bajja ne bafumba. Ekyo no kiyambako okuuma obulamu bwabwe nga buli health.
Uganda Vegan Society is a non-profit organization in Uganda that advocates for increased consumption of plant-based foods while advocating for animal rights and environmental conservation. The organization was founded in 2019 and has been organizing similar events since. This VegFest was made possible with support from VegFund and Pro-Veg grant programs.